friends! Thank you for spending part of your day here with me. I really appreciate it. I started doing my makeup and then decided, you know what, I am going to bring you guys along for the journey. So, welcome. All I've done so far is I primed my lids and I put Wicked Envy from Midnight Sun, which is this shade right here, all over the lid. And I'm going to go from there. I'm aiming for something really smoky, really dramatic, really pretty today because I need this to work out. I am a very tired, very burnt out, stay-at-home army wife today. And the end is near. The end of my misery is coming. So my husband was active duty for about almost 8 years. And now he's in the active reserves. And never, ever, ever was active duty as terrible as the reserves. Never. So, and I don't know if this is just his command, but we are not having a good time, especially because we have 4 kids. So my husband left at 4 a.m. on Friday and is not supposed to be home until about 8 p.m. today on Sunday. And we had no idea. It just happened. And they always tell you, the thing about the reserves is it's 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer. And that's technically true. But what they don't tell you is that it's a 100-hour work week immediately followed by another work week. So you're working about 140 hours in a row with no break. And that's because Monday through Thursday, he works 10 hours at his normal job. Of course, not counting commuting, just working time. And then on the weekends, he literally pulled 20-hour days for the last 3 days. So guess what? That's 100 hours worked. And we're about an hour and a half away from base. So that's not commuting time, nothing. That's just worked time. So I haven't seen my husband since 4 a.m. on Friday. And that was just like, okay, see you later. Like, we didn't know he wasn't coming home. But he didn't get to come home for 2 days now. And I am exhausted. I am an exhausted wife. I was expecting to see him. I was expecting him to come home for dinner and then to get to talk to him and then to go to bed and then he'd leave. But no. He's been sleeping in his car, not coming home. All because his unit doesn't communicate any plans and they decided, you know what, we actually have to go play Army for a little bit. It's not a requirement. No other unit's doing it, just his unit, because they want to play Army and they think it sounds fun. So I have not seen my husband in days, and I've had all the kids by myself since really last Sunday was the last day he got to help because he was working. And I'm just tired. I'm mentally fatigued. I'm physically exhausted. I'm ready for him to come home. So, like, for example, my kids like to play in the mud and they like to get wet and dirty, which, you know, whatever, fine. You know, your kids have fun. But my daughter's on her 5th outfit change of the day. My oldest is on his 3rd. And my baby's on his 2nd. Because they get wet and muddy and they don't just stay out there until they're ready to come inside and dry off. And no. They get uncomfortable because they're muddy and wet, which I'm glad that they feel that way. But then they come in and change and go right back out to the mud. And so I'm like, so when you live in a house with 6 people, if you don't do 2 loads of laundry every day, just normally, then you end up with piles and piles of laundry. So I'm already doing 2 loads a day, but I haven't done 2 loads for the last couple days because I've just been really tired. And so I have a couple loads already ready to go, and I have to do the muddy, wet clothes now, like that got front lined. Otherwise, it's going to turn into a bigger problem. And it's just when you're already behind and you're already tired, kids being kids is sometimes really hard. It's really hard because I'm happy that they want to do it. I'm happy that they're going out there and having fun and being kids, but it's so exhausting sometimes. I'm gonna go in with Extreme Dusk, this brown, because I really want this to be smoky. But I'm just, so I usually let my big kids not really nap for nap time. If they don't want to, I let them play. But today I'm like, everyone's taking a nap. Everybody's taking a nap. We are going to take a nap until Dad gets home because, you know, I need quiet time just as much as you guys do today. So I made it. But I posted the screenshot of this on Instagram because I really do love this about my marriage. But obviously I'm not going to make this my thumbnail because that'd be weird. But I had a chance to talk to Sean briefly today, and I was like, I am so tired, and I'm ready for you to be home, and I want you to have time to unwind and relax, because as tired as I am, I know that you have it worse. You're the one who, you know, has had to work, and I've gotten to at least be in the comfort of our home. Like, yeah, I'm mentally fatigued, but Sean's physically fatigued and mentally fatigued, and I was like, I'm just so sleepy, and I can't wait for you to be home so you can help me, but at the same time, I want you to have time to relax as well, because I know that you're so exhausted. And he's like, he's at Mando Fun today, I should mention. So basically, they are forced to go, and it's basically team building, but Sean doesn't have any friends in his unit, and he's not really trying to make any friends in his unit because we're getting the fuck out of the military next year, so he doesn't really care too much. And so he's just sitting there playing a video game on our Switch and waiting until he's allowed to go home. And he's like, oh, I'm okay, I'm, you know, recentering and regrouping and just hanging out, and when I get home, I'm going to spend time with the kids, and you are going to run away and read and do all the things that you want to do. And I was like, and then he's telling me he's so proud of me because he knows that it's not easy to be here by myself for as long as I have been, and he knows it's not easy, but I did it. And so he's just proud of me, and I was like, I'm proud of you, because I know that it's not physically or mentally easy to be in your position. And so I just really enjoy that about our relationship. We very much appreciate what the other person does, and we both understand the sacrifice. It's not like we're keeping score. We're not like, well, I've been talked to nonstop for the past 7 days, and well, that's great because I've been, you know, outside in the hot, and we don't do any of that. So I really appreciate that about my marriage, because a lot of people do keep scores against their spouse, and it's just not helpful. It's not helpful. It's not healthy, and Sean and I have never done that. Look at the smoke. It's so smoky. I like, this one's a lot more pointy than this side is. I'm worried I'm going to try to fix it and I'm going to make it worse, but I'm going to try to fix it. But I'm just really excited to see my husband above all else, because I haven't gotten to have like a real conversation with him since like last Sunday was the last time we really got to talk about more than just, okay, this is what's going on. This is what needs to be done. You know, these are the bills I'm paying. It's like, since we got to have a conversation like we're in a relationship, not just like tenants in common, if you will. So I am very excited, which is another reason why I'm really excited to be using Midnight Sun today, because I know that I'm going to come up with a look that's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be exactly what I need it to be today. And for that, I am excited. I think I want to use a special shade. Which one do I want to use? Part of me wants to use the orange in the inner corner, would that be? Or do I want to use, yeah, I think I do want to use orange. I'm going to go in with a special orange, which is Blood Moon 005. It's a little bit more dramatic than I was hoping, but you know what? These Pat McGrath special shades are so pretty. They're so pretty. I think I do want to take Taboo. And am I down here though? Oh yeah. But yeah, today was family day at the Army, and so I technically could have gone to the family day, but I chose not to because we have our vacation in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I don't want everybody to get sick. So I'm trying to avoid large gatherings like that for the time being, but also I am just simply not in the mood to be social like that. And there's like an understanding in the military community that you're all family and y'all have to be social and happy when you talk to each other. And I just don't know if I could play the game right now. And there's this really toxic mentality, but you know, it is what it is, where you represent your sponsor. So no matter what I do, it reflects on Sean when I'm on base or when I'm in that type of social setting. And so if I'm frankly kind of a bitch because I'm just not in the mood, because these are the people who are such a clusterfuck, I didn't get to see my husband for the past like 3 days at all. Well, then I don't want Sean to get in trouble because I'm just not able to control myself. So we decided I just wasn't gonna go, and frankly, I'm happier that way. I do feel bad though for Sean because as much as he's like supportive and says like, oh, it's okay, like it's fine, like obviously I'm sure he would rather us be there because there's something about having like your people there, you know, like that makes things better. Like you may hate everybody else, but if your people are there, then it makes it more enjoyable. So for that, I feel bad, but it's okay. We're almost done. And then next month, he is taking the rest of his paternity leave because he was entitled to basically skip 2 months. And he only skipped 1 because he adopted my daughter last year, so he got to skip 2 months. What the fuck just happened? That was interesting. He got to skip the 2 months immediately prior to my baby's birth. And so we figured he would skip, obviously, the month she was born, and then we would save his 2nd month for our vacation because the way the schedule was written, I say was because they changed it, but we were supposed to come back from our vacation and then he was supposed to go on the Army bullshit the very next day. So we were going to come in at like 11 o'clock at night, and then he was supposed to be doing Army like 4 hours later. We were like, yeah, fuck all of that. They did change the schedule so that he actually would not have had to Army until the following week. But I think the plan still is for us to take next month off anyway. So we'll see. I hope that that's the case because I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. And the only reason he is in the reserves is because we needed health insurance, because we chose, when he got out of the Army, we chose for him to take 6 months off work because my son was born in August and my husband got out of the military that November. So rather than immediately looking for a job so that we knew he had a job when he got out of the Army, we decided that he was just not going to look for a job for a little bit so that he could be home and spend my son's first holiday season with us. And we had the savings to live off of for a little bit, so that's what we chose to do. But we had to compromise somewhere, and that was in the form of the Army Reserves, which wasn't bad because his old unit truthfully wasn't bad, but this unit is absolutely terrible. So there it is. I remember, so we were explaining to his, we were explaining to his first sergeant the whole situation because he obviously just came off parental leave. Oh, mama. Just came off parental leave because he adopted my daughter and then immediately went right back on it because our daughter was born. And I remember just sitting next to him when he was on the phone with his first sergeant, who he's never met because he just got transferred to this unit. And the first sergeant literally says, so I don't really understand your situation. Is this your old wife, your new wife, or the same wife? And we're just like, same wife? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, that was just really weird. Stuff like that. And I'm a civilian, I can say it. He's a dick. The guy's still a dick. I say what I want because I'm a civilian and they can't do shit because it's my opinion. Yeah, brother. But, so now we're trying to find a solution to get my husband out of the reserves next year because there's no way that I'm going to support him re-enlisting. It's not good for him mentally. It's not good for us because, well, frankly, the new administration is very brave when it comes to other people's kids and loved ones and not their own. So I distrust the current administration and I don't want my husband to be in the military at all because of that, but also for family life. They like to play that the military is good for families. It's not. It is not. Mama. Alright, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to feed Mama and then I will be back for my face portion. Alright. My eyes are done. Smoky with an inner corner. I like it. But yeah, some people steer clear of these type of topics altogether. I am not one of those people because the way I see it is if we disagree on some of these things, then the reality is we cannot really be friends, and depending on what it is, I don't really want to be friends, or I don't really want anything to do with people who, for example, support Trump. We're not family, we're not friends, we're not acquaintances. I simply don't want to know what's going on in your life, nor do I really want you to know what's going on in mine. So that's why I'm so candid about some of these controversial topics. I try not to touch on them too much because people turn to makeup and YouTube as an escape in a lot of ways, but I'm not going to pretend like I want a relationship of any kind or anything to do with people who stand for certain things. So if that offends you. Sorry, not sorry, I suppose. But moving on, because I don't want to talk about this anymore. I am trying to get my house back in order. And it's slow coming, so I finally caught up on vacuuming, although my tornado toddler came and there's toys all over the floor again, so that needs to be corrected. I want to try to get a few more loads of laundry done. I want to try to get this last load of dishes done before Sean gets home. And I think I'm going to try... maybe that's it. I was going to try to do the shower too, but I think I'll try to leave it at that. I did finish Throne of Glass this morning, so now I'm on to the next one. And Throne of Glass kind of freaked me out, not gonna lie. So I started, it is Throne of Glass, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, Throne of Glass. It just kind of freaked me out. I started the series when I was pregnant with my daughter still, and then I took a little bit of a break because I was just tired, and every time I tried to pick up the book again, I forgot what was going on, so I just didn't for a while. But now she's sleeping through the night, and so now I decided it's a good time to try to pick it back up. And let me tell you how freaky it is to read some of these pages late at night. I was getting a little scared because it's fantasy, you know? There's some gory depictions. There's some... I describe them as jump scares because I'm a little bit of a weenie. So like horror movies, I don't watch horror movies. I don't like scary things. And so hearing about this like person summoning demons and people going missing, and it really freaked me out. It really did. So now I'm like recovering from that ending, and I'm trying to decide if I want to jump into the next book because I feel like the next one's also going to be a little freaky. But it's just a book. It's a book that's designed for like, I don't know, middle schoolers. So if middle schoolers can read it, well, I should be able to read it too and not have nightmares. But I already like don't like the dark and sleep with the light on in my bathroom and stuff like that. And with Sean not coming home until, you know, the wee hours in the morning, some days I'm like, this really was not the time for me to read this book. But it was good. It ended up being really good. I was totally wrong about some stuff, so I don't know why I'm trying not to give spoilers. Throne of Glass has been out forever, and I think I'm the last person on the planet who read it. But I thought for sure that princess chick that was like in the castle, I thought she was the one that was summoning the demons and killing all the champions. So I was very surprised when that wasn't the case. I am curious what's going on with the king, though. The fact that he set up that one chick to poison the champion, but then pretended like he didn't know what was going on. I don't know, like the Duke, something weird's going on with that. And I can't quite figure out what it is. Also, I want to know what's happening with, I think his name's Darlan, the guy that Kalena used to like answer to and belong to. I feel like we're not done with him either. Like I feel like at some point he's either gonna come looking for her or she's gonna end up back there. I just don't feel like we're done with him yet. He seems like he comes up too much for a character that's in the past. Oh. This is definitely not the kind of book that I usually read, though. I usually read Danielle Steele rom-coms. So reading a fantasy book is very different for me. Sean loves fantasy. He's actually in the middle of reading another book. I kind of want to read Fourth Wing though, because everybody on Instagram, Mom, Twitter raved about that, and I was like, I don't know, it's not really my type of book, and it might not be, but it might be. Sean described it as like 50 Shades of Grey-esque with a fantasy like twist, and I did enjoy A Court of Thorns and Roses, so I'm like, maybe that'll be my type of book, but we'll see. I have like 30 Danielle Steele rom-com books that I was gifted off of Facebook Marketplace, so I'm trying to get through those. But I don't have that much time to read these days because I'm busy. So, we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to read. I'm going to finish Throne of Glass, the series, before I pick up anything else for sure. Because I'm not one of those people that can read like 2 books at once. I get so confused. So, I'm going to finish Throne of Glass. What's after Throne of Glass? I don't know. But we will see. Time will tell. Tomorrow is the start of the Mega Drop shop, as well as the Diamond Appreciation event at Ulta. And I'm looking, and I have some things that are in my cart. I don't know if I'm actually going to get any of them, though. Oh, wow. That was not. Okay. I set my face with powder, obviously, and I went over the top of it with my highlighter, and I can now see a pretty harsh line where I did that. So I need to try to... there's a Hotcakes perfume that I've been eyeing. Ulta sent us out a advertisement featuring it a couple months ago, and it's been like on my mind since then. So that's in my cart. Same with the... It's like a tubing mascara. I think it's like the Tarte XL tubing mascara. Because Kate, her eyelashes are gorgeous. And she always talks about how it's that mascara. Granted, Kate has gorgeous eyelashes anyway. So I think that no matter what it is, it would be gorgeous. But 10 times the points on that. What is happening? It's definitely open. Thank you. What is happening? It's definitely open. Do I just need to keep pressing it? It's definitely twisted open. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, this is the Anastasia Dewy set. It smells like coconut. I liked the mister. So this one, as well as the Revlon one I tried yesterday, they have the very intense misters where they spray. It's not like the P. Louise one's very fine. But these ones feel nice. And I really like the smell of coconut. So I'm enjoying that. But, so anyway, I have a mascara and I have the perfume in my cart on Ulta. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. I haven't decided. The Mega Drop shop starts tomorrow as well. So I'm like keeping my eye on that. Although I really shouldn't be shopping because I have vacation coming up next month. And really truly there's something I need, you know, I'm looking at my collection and I'm satisfied with everything I have. I have a lot of beautiful things to get through. I am going to keep my subscriptions. I have decided that because I do enjoy getting them. And it is cost effective for me. Because in the grand scheme of things, I really only have to enjoy one thing from the box to make the box worth it. So the chances of liking one thing from a box like that is pretty high. So I'm going to keep my boxes, but I don't know. There's really nothing I need to buy. I can always find things I want to buy. I can always find something to want. But I don't need to find anything to want, and I don't want anything, and I'm already, I'm satisfied. So I don't know. I even had the thought, like, maybe I'll try to not requalify for diamond next year. Like, I'm really close. Like, that would be really crazy because just a couple repurchases and I would be at my diamond status again for next year. And realistically, I'll probably hit it because we're only in, it's like the beginning of August right now. So not spending $100 in 4 months that just doesn't, I don't know if I can do that. But my goal definitely is not to requalify for diamond next year. The problem is that I get my daughter's haircut at Ulta as well. And like I get her bath bombs from Ulta and I get a face wash from Ulta. I get all my stuff from Ulta. So it's really hard to not qualify for diamond. I think my problem is it wasn't just my qualifying for diamond. It was also my subscription boxes. It was also buying things directly from brands' websites. It's also the Sephora purchases. So it's everything combined. I think if it was just qualifying for diamond, I wouldn't be as like icked about that. But it's everything. So if it happens, it happens. I'm definitely not, I mean, I don't try to hit it. I never try to hit it, but I just think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool if I just did not requalify for it this year. Although I don't want to get that idea in my head because I feel like I'm going to be really disappointed if and when I do requalify for diamond, because the reality is I'm probably going to, just based off of how close I am and how long is left in the year. But I really do like this setting spray so far. I always have this bad habit of I'll use a product once, I'm like, oh, I like it, but like really truly, I mean, it smells really nice. It smells like coconuts. I liked the mister. It was a little bit weird at first, the having to press the button a bunch of times to get the product to spray out, but once it sprayed out, I enjoyed it. So I'm going to continue to try that, but so far, so good. This is my look of the day. So my lid shade ended up being a lot softer than I was planning. I was really planning on it being like really smoky, really out there, really vibrant, but it looks very, very, it's like subtle smoke, which is not what I was expecting at all. And then I have a beige on my lower lash line and obviously that orange. I wanted it to be really, really smoked out. I didn't want it to be just like a little inner corner highlight. I wanted it to be huge because I think this is cute where you could just like boom, boom, boom. The really dramatic. So that is what I was going for. I do like it. But yeah, this is, it has been a get ready with me today. It has been a moody, grungy, overwhelmed, struggling stay-at-home army wife get ready with me, but that's the reality sometimes, and I'm very real with you guys. I never want to come on here and act like somebody I'm not, or try to seem like super happy if I'm not. Most of the time I am, but there are times where things do get to me, and the military and the army is definitely one of them. But Sean is going to bring me pizza from my favorite pizza place on his way home today. We live about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from it, so the only time we really can get it is when we're over there for like an outing or when he's there for the army. So that's a plus. The problem is they either make it so good or it's like trash, and you never know how it's going to be until you get it. So the days where it's really, really good, I'm like, oh man, I wish we got 2 pizzas because then I would have it for longer. But then the days where it's like awful, I'm like, yeah, we could have skipped on it because it's not cheap. It's like $60, you know, but the problem is I don't like cheese. I don't like a lot of cheese. So it's the days where they try to be nice and add like extra cheese, you know, where I'm like, because then I have to pull off everything. And then I'm eating just bread and sauce. And it's like, I mean, my $60 bread and sauce is great, I suppose, but not really what I was going for. But anyway, I will let you guys get back to your day. Thank you so much for spending part of your day here with me. I really appreciate it. And please feel empowered and encouraged to engage down in the doobly-doo and in DMs. I love to talk about makeup, all things makeup, new makeup, old makeup, Pat McGrath makeup perhaps. Has anybody tried the setting spray? I think I am just super late to the game, but I like it so far. Of course, I have to see if it breaks me out. So I'm trying a bunch of things, and I don't think my friends are getting any worse. I think that they're they are what they are, but I don't think they're getting worse. So if I start getting breakouts, like, then I know, be aware, but pending no breakouts, I think we're in the clear. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!